Okay, sorry this wasn't available to you earlier, but here they are. I'm going to start making intro videos this morning, but this is on part of the Cold War, the first official shooting part, the Korean War. And the Korean War, just so that you know, heading into this, started in 1950 and ended, quote unquote, ended in 1953. There was never a ceasefire treaty signed, so officially it's still not over, but it's over, if you know what I mean. And you can see some of the images up here, soldiers in line, going on a mission. Down here, looks like some of the fighting happened in the snow. I'll tell you about that in a second. And then down here is the monument to the Korean War in DC. So that's some of the stuff that you can think about. Then you have your learning targets where you're going to be working to understand the course of events during the Korean War. Your directions that tell you where to go to do your work. And then the timeline, again, pointed out it started in 1950 and ended in 1953. Now, in order for it to start, North Korean leader who wanted to reunify all of Korea as communist had to get the permission of Joseph Stalin, the leader of the Soviet Union, to get support if he got in trouble. And that support had to come from their new communist neighbor, Communist China. And he did get that support, so eventually he did launch this attack. And it went pretty well for a while. They pushed the remaining U.S. troops that were there and the South Korean troops all the way down to the tip of the peninsula in Korea. You'll see maps of this in this lesson. And then we landed behind them from the ocean and pushed them all the way back up to the top. And when we got really close to China, that's when the Chinese came out of the mountains. Literally, they were waiting in the mountains in case they needed to come and fight and started pushing us all the way back down. So the activities you're going to be doing here, a brain pop. You guys like brain pops, but the Korean War gives you some questions. Then you have looking at maps. This is where you're going to get to see the maps. The funny thing is one time they actually got caught, the U.S. troops, Marines, and Army got caught at this place called Chosin Reservoir, way up high in those mountains I just mentioned. And it was really, really cold. And I met a man that was there one time. And he was sitting at a McDonald's and he had a hat on that said Chosin. I said, "Sir, were you there?" And he said, "I didn't know it could be so cold," as far as how cold it was in the mountains there. But anyway, so then you come get that activity done. You come down here, you do your reflection, do the reflection, see they're being simplified, 5 multiple choice questions. Please take the time if you have a question. I mean, I can't answer your questions if you don't ask them. Just think, what questions do you have that haven't been answered? And then you're done.